Guess who's back? Back again. Fulk, who's back? Well, a very good Saturday morning to you all, my friends. Hope your Saturday's going to go swimmingly, and then obviously West Ham ruin it tomorrow. We'll be having match day morning, all that type of stuff, starting 11 show, watch along, all that malarkey tomorrow. But a exclusive report from Claret and Hugh reveals that our big effing German, is apparently flying back today in order to be at the match as a spectator. So earlier yesterday, Claret and Hugh revealed exclusively that Nicholas Fulk would be flying back to the UK to attend Sunday's game against Man United. Now, the news came from the highest place source, let's just say that it is, who later clarified the update as well. While he will be present, he will be watching as an observer, not as a player. And the club apparently still have no idea when he'll return from injury to actually play. The German international travelled back to his homeland early this week for treatment in a bid to heal his ongoing Achilles injury, but it seems West Ham are uncertain whether the treatment was successful or not. The higher placed Hammer's source was keen to temper expectations, according to the article in Claret, who say, "We have no idea when he'll be ready to return to play." Fantastic. So what's quite interesting is that contradicts the statement that Florian Peltenberg, Tim Steidens, we know he's a close associate, who was a lot more optimistic with his update, suggesting that Fulk could be set to resume training within the coming days. So again, we're in that situation where one source doesn't know, hasn't got a clue when he'll be back, and that's a higher place source. Whether that higher place source has their finger on the pulse in terms of the squad is another question. We don't necessarily know, being the higher place source. They're not necessarily at the training ground all the time. Whereas, obviously, Tim is in contact with Florian as well. So you imagine he may have a bit more hands-on experience or hands-on knowledge about when we're likely to see Nicholas back in a West Ham shirt. In all honesty, I think we're probably likely to maybe see him towards the end of November, potentially. Obviously, we've got Sunday, then we've got Leicester and Everton. Maybe Everton potentially, but then there's a 2-week gap before we play Newcastle away, and that may be a more of a realistic time frame potentially. Obviously, it's the same time frame that at the moment, until further notice, we'll be expecting to have Mohamed Kudus back if his 3-game suspension isn't extended anymore, which is more than likely, as West Ham are basically appealing both their judgment and the judgment against Mohamed Kudus. Now, as mentioned the other day, there was an article I was reading about an NFL player who has a similar injury to Nicholas, and he's been out for 3 months now with no sight of a return date. And although it's everyone's slightly different in terms of how they recover, it's a very similar injury by all accounts. And again, we're left to wonder what time frame we're having in terms of where his sort of recovery is. The guy in question, where's his name? I had it here. Where is he? Come on, Budden. San Francisco 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey. He's dealing with the same injury, an Achilles tendonitis. And it says he's there. I mean, the running backs are basically sort of the strikers, so to speak, in NFL. And he's been out for 3 months already, and there's no time frame for his return. So the situation has been similar in terms of injury to that of Nicholas. So initially it was thought he'd be ready for a week or two, having first been diagnosed with a calf injury, but in the same way happened with Nicholas. But he's not featured for the 49ers yet, and it's still unknown. And indeed, they haven't opened. With NFL, when they return from injury, they have a 21-day window to return to practice, and that sort of hasn't been opened yet. So again, they've marked down a potential date for him in November, but they're still yet to return him to open practice in terms of the 21-day window as such. A similar thing to West Ham, really. When the player comes back, he then has to return back to fitness. It's the same principle, really, but it's more structured in the NFL. So we'll keep an eye. I'm sure there'll be some cameras. I'm sure he'll be in the tunnel, and some people will be snapping him along. But he will be in attendance to watch us defeat Man United without him, without Kudus. And on that bombshell, Hammer's headlines yesterday I spoke about. They could have up to 8 players, or it's more likely to be 7 players now. Johnny Evans apparently is potentially penciled in for a return date for the game tomorrow, but we shall wait and see. Jared Bowen was interviewed on the club website on Thursday night into Friday, saying they've had a hard week and a lot of training. Too fucking right, you've had a hard week and a lot of training. But he's had I think they were saying he's got quite a good hit rate against Man United at home or something like that. But and obviously there's been a whole host of head coaches who apparently we've been linked with in terms of the cat lad's doing a job. It's just history repeating itself. It seems today in terms of what we have with David Moyes. Mancini's been linked, Mourinho, Eddie Howe, craziness. Conceição, the former Porto manager as well. Craziness. Anyway. Until next time, my friends, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble. Have a great Saturday. I'll speak to you soon. Much love. Bye.